Hiya, it's Ali here. Today I'm going to be doing a couple of things. I'm going to be showing you how to make one of the cards that in our Craft Addiction UK group I was asked to show. And also I'm going to also be doing a little bit of a technique showing you how to make the paste that I use. Rather than buying the texture paste, sometimes I don't have it on hand, or haven't got it, at the time or whatever. I have a very quick way of actually making some, and it's cheap as chips, definitely cheaper than buying texture paste, and it does as good a job as any, I think. So today I'm going to make this card. Everybody in group really liked this and wanted to know how I made it, so I'm going to make it, but just in a different colour. So that's what we're aiming for. So the colours I'm going to use, and obviously I'm using Distress Oxides, I'm going to be using them in blue colours. So I've got 3 different colours of blue in Distress ink. So I've got the Broken China, the Salty Ocean and the Uncharted Mariner. Okie dokie. So I'll just grab a couple of brushes there, and I've already prepped the back of a card. And the stars that we're using, sorry, I've prepped the mat and card, should I say, not the back of a card. So for the actual stencil that I have used, it's Starry Spiral, which is actually a Funky Fossil stencil. So I'm going to just grab a piece of paper to work on top of. She says, pulling them all over. I just also want to say thank you so much for watching my videos. It's really appreciated. And if you fancy doing a subscribe, that'd be amazing. It all helps really, to keep the YouTube channel going, and it gives me a lot of inspiration to keep going as well. Now then, moving on, I'm going to open my Distress ink. So I'm just going to put them in order of light, medium and dark. And obviously I'm going to start with the light. I just want to grab a little bit of card. There we go. To, stop getting fingerprints on the inks when I've started using. So I'm going to start with the lightest colour. And I'm just going to gently pop it on. There's no rhyme or reason or anything like that. I don't ever go for a rhyme or reason, it doesn't work. And often, sometimes when I go to recreate a card, sometimes I can recreate it, and other times it's like, well, it's something similar. But there you go. So we just want 3 shades of this blue. I like working in 3s. Something about working in 3s that doesn't make the eyes go funny. So I'll get a nice, that's a bit of a darker blue. I'll go back over it again to deepen it in a second. And then I'm just going to go and grab that Uncharted Mariner, which is a very deep blue. One of my favourite blues, excuse the arms. So I'm just going to do a little bit of that. Okie dokie. So I'm just going to go back over it again with that lightest Broken China. Kind of gives a bit of a light up in that corner. And then blend it all together. Use this bigger brush, it's a bit softer. So I've just got a nice little blend there of 3 different colours. I'm going to pop the lids back on there. So then what I'm going to do is grab my water bottle, and I'm just going to pop some water splatters on there. Grab some kitchen roll. and then just dab that off like so. And there we go. Okie dokie. Right, while that's just drying off a little bit, I'm just going to show you how I make this texture paste. So all I've got is a little airtight container. I think I got it from B&M Bargains or something like that. This that I've got in here is still good, and I made this, I think it was in September or October last year, and it's still good to go. I could probably use that on this project, but I just wanted to add some more and show you how to make it. So yeah, all I do, easy peasy, just 2 ingredients, some baby powder and some white paint. So I pop some baby powder into my bowl, just a few squirts, and then my paint, I just, when I get it open, undo that, it's clogged up a bit there, and then I just squeeze some paint into it. I don't even have like a ratio, I just put it in till it looks about right. Okay, and then if you want to just pop some gesso in as well, you can do. That just puts a little bit more like liquid in it, if you like, because the actual paint is quite thick. So it's still 2 ingredients, it's still gesso or white paint. It's just this Galleria paint is rather thick. And the paint is obviously making it a nice bright white colour, and the baby powder is the binding, really. Some people put UPVA glue in it. I have done in the past, but then when I accidentally forgot to put the UPVA glue in it, or PVA glue, not UPVA glue, PVA glue in it, I forgot to put it in, and I used it, and you wouldn't have known. I don't really know what. I think it's to kind of a little bit of glue to keep it on the paper, but this has been ages, and it's not going anywhere. It's not coming off. It's not cracking. So to me, that's done and dusted. So again, a really lovely consistency like that. And this will last for months and months. Like I said, the bit that I had left in there, about September, October last year. So it's brilliant. And even if it starts to go slightly thicker, you know, it starts to not unconstitute, but just go a bit thicker, just bung a bit more gesso in. But I haven't had to do that yet. So anyway, right, so I'm going to bring in that background that we just did. So I'll move this out of the way because I've got powder all over it now. I'm going to put the piece in. So I'm going to bring my stencil in and my card, so that's nice and dry now. Okie dokie. Then I'm going to grab my stencil and then pop that over the top, sort of centralise it, and then grab your mixture and then literally just go over it. Like so. There we go. And lift that up. Put that to one side. And see, we've got a beautiful, beautiful background there. So don't forget to pop your lid back onto your box. So then you want to ideally leave that to dry naturally, but because we haven't got that time with doing a video, I'm just going to dry it off with my heat tool. So if you bear with me, and I'll do that now. Okay, so that's nice and dry now. So what I'm going to do is I'm also going to grab my little rabbits stamps, which I should have done before I did this, but I forgot. So I'm just going to go into my box of tricks here. So I've got two different versions. I've got a grey coloured one and a brown coloured one. So let's have a look. Grey, we've got brown. What do we think? Grey or brown? Which goes better, do you think? I'm not sure. They both look quite nice, actually. I'm going to go with the grey to make a decision. So just while that's also doing what it needs to do, I'm going to grab a stamp which says, "I thank my lucky stars for a friend like you," which I think, because we're using stars, is a pretty cool sentiment. So I'm going to grab my, so I've got some watercolour card here. And pop that on there like so. Okay. So I also just need to grab a little bit of black card. Bear with me 1 second. You can tell I've done this on the huff. I've just decided, I came in, I thought, right, I'm going to do this video, and then I forgot minutes. Right, now I'm just grab a pair of scissors. So I'm just going to do a nice cut of this. It may not be 100% square. Oh, I hope. Yeah, I'm just going to stamp that out again, because I caught it with my finger and smudged it. So there you go. That's what you get when you're doing things and you don't prep. But at least you can see that I'm doing it as I'm going along. So I'm also going to pop that on there and just give it a little bit of an outlining back. Now normally I would have done that with my cutter and it would have been 100% straight. But it doesn't matter if it's a little skew with. Okay, and then I've just edged it with a little bit of black on there. Pop it on there. Okay, so I'm going to pop this together. Really only wanted to do a very quick one. Obviously when you do yours at home, you're going to be a lot more careful than I am. A lot more precise. So I'm just going to get some foam tape. Some foam pads. Okay. I'm going to put the foam pads behind our little fluffy here. Okay. I'm going to pop him on here. So just below that bottom set of stars, should I say. And then I'm going to stick our little sentiment together. plonk it in there. I'll pop it at the side. Pop it at the side. I think I'll pop a little foam pad on there as well. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to pop the card together. Okay, and of course what I'm going to do also, I'm going to get that Stabilo all, and I'm just going to draw a line under the bottoms, and because we don't want them looking like they're floating in midair, and then just run, just to give them a little bit of a floor to sit on. A bit more underneath the actual bottom. Just like so. Okie dokie. And then we're going to pop, make sure we've got an Australian card. I'm going to pop this on top of the card. I tend to do the mat's usually 5 by 5, and then I go up in increments of quarters, or you know, to get the increments going up nicely and not like huge. Okay, and then I'm going to grab, oopsie daisy, my sentiment. Pop that there, and then of course I can't not put any gems. Can't not put any gems on, can I? So we'll have one there, one there, and we'll pop one here. So we've got a lovely little card there, all made in less than 20 minutes, which is what I want to try and do for you, make like quick things. Because obviously you can variate it however you want by putting a different stencil in the background, obviously different sentiments. And also we had the little technique where we made up the stencil paste as well. So I hope you enjoyed that little quick video, and I'll see you again in another video really soon with some more of these beautiful stamps of Cottontail from Louise Dunne. Don't forget to join us in the Facebook group, Craft Addiction UK. Brilliant group, lots of inspiration, tons and tons of inspiration daily, lots of videos, lots of pictures, and see you soon. Thank you. Have a great day. Bye.